please, from the room, why'd you join this union, and what did you hope to get out of it? Anybody? I'll start. Go ahead, Joe.
I learned our brother Cody did join the union because he had to. And then when his father asked him what trade he wanted to be, of course he said laser. His whole career through, his life from high school and college, and became a laser. And I did learn that Brian Collier, although he had some doors open for him, he wanted to make it easier for folks that didn't have easy opportunities to open the doors to the union. And that was his goal.
Yeah.
When you say what were you looking for when you came in as a 19-year-old press, I don't think, I think a lot of people here don't know what exactly they were looking for. But if you were fortunate enough, like I was, to have a mentor kind of grab me and say, hey kid, you know what, you're gonna get active, you know, just follow my lead. Cool. I think that's, and I think, you know, it touches on where we need to be today, tying the mentorship thing, because, you know, Frankie Dwyer, thank God, he had latched on to me, so.
And how the hell did you understand what he was saying? Those are, not too many people know Frank. Anybody else? Please.
I mean, look, you know, I came, I'm an attorney by trade, labor side attorney, Frank, my director. We both came in for different reasons. You know, I came in because I already wanted to fight for the working class, and Frank came in to feed his family, and you know, as he grows up and became active, he wants to make a difference in people's lives, work in people's lives, and improve their conditions. And we're talking about it. Like, we started maybe with different reasons, but both of those reasons are the same. You know, and like it's a short fighting for the working class is what Frank said.
Anybody else? Martin?
No. First of all, thank you for being here. My history is kind of, I joined the union when I was 37 years old as apprentice. Eric Redding, which is here, switched me to a taper. I was very, very, very struggling when I joined the union. People don't know when you live in the fridge, when you live in a house and your fridge is empty and you got nothing to put them on the table for your family. A lot of people don't know that. Plus I coming from the third world country, just living sad what we living over there. This organization changed my life in many, many, many aspects. We never ended, taking months to give it that out. And not only that, changed a lot of people's life. In my 15 years in the staff, say roughly 700 to 800 new members bring it in. When I see they buying a house, they able to raise their kids in the other way. And I'm continuing to work for my union to when I see a wage theft and many, many unfair injustice, I took those fight personally to bring in those people with dignity what they deserve. That's why I'm in this union and I continue to fight. Thank you.
Yes, so I spoke with Veronica, and Veronica learned about the union in 2008 during the recession. She was working non-union, and she wasn't able to get in until 2010. But the reason why she wanted to join the union was because she wanted to work in an environment where she would be paid equally to her male counterparts, where she would have benefits, and where she would be able to live comfortably and work safely. Veronica's goal is to be able to help others and to pass on the opportunity that someone passed on to her. And she has had the opportunity to do that, but that's one of her goals, to continue on paying it forward to others.
Anybody? I joined because I was a shitty student. I needed a job. I knew what the union was, and thank God I had access to the union, but like, I think the thing is, we didn't join to be leaders. We joined for a job, we joined for some other reasons maybe than why we're here today. So think about why you joined the union. I joined because I sucked at school, and it wasn't for me, and I needed a job, and I knew what the union was about. My family was in the union. I'm like, all right, well that makes sense. I joined because I wanted a job. Anybody, Joe?
Yeah, this sounds perfect with Scotty Manuel. It's just interesting because I think it was Tim Strickler who mentioned it, that mentorship. Both our stories, although similar in many ways, both involve people who would have had some more experience that has taken us under the wing, showing us the ways and helping us along. And I think some of that is, many departments can agree, a lot of that's missing nowadays. That is one of the ingredients that's definitely missing. We had a little discussion about whatnot, but I think that's really what it comes down to it. And I've had the pleasure of being a mentor by him in my professional career as a staffer. So guys like him and Giles Draco who continue to show me the way, and I've always tried to do the same. And I hope everyone has that philosophy in life, period.
Right. Anybody else? Matt?
I was with Brother Ed Haley, next to me here. Ed, stand up. No, I'm just kidding. And Ed worked non-union as a glazer, and in 2007, one of the greatest organizers came to him and talked to him about what the union was about. And
Moses?
he had already told me what the union was about, and he joined because he wanted a better life for his family and be able to retire with dignity one day. And that's about it. Right, did I leave anything out? You want to talk about that organizer? Or? And now Ed is a lead agent for the greatest glazer union in the world. So
All right, shut up.
It took Matt 3 years to get in, 3 years of applying to finally get in, so he dropped out of clown college.
Show of hands, how many people had to wait like more than 6 months to a year to get into the union? Think about that, right? Anybody else? Candace?
One of the reasons I actually joined, there was multiple, but I needed a medication that was $3,500 a month, and I couldn't afford it.
Right,
The huge one's helping.
right. Now think about, like, some of you's reflected on maybe why you're here today, which we'll actually get into in a little bit. But I want you to really think back to why you joined the union in the first place throughout the course of this presentation. I want you to think, because you gotta put yourself in the shoes of our members if we're gonna try to reconnect with our members. Like, why did our members join the union? And I say it all the time, but like 99% of our members joined our union because they want a job. They want a job with good pay, they want a job with good benefits, they want a job with dignity, they want a job that can maybe lead towards a retirement down the road. They want security, man. They don't want politics. They really don't. They didn't join the union because it's some movement that they want to be a part of. Most people join the trades and joined our organization because they wanted a job. And, think of all the things that we provide to our membership that have given those members that security. And it's way better in a union. Like, that shirt really does mean something to me. It is way better in a union. But what happens is over the course of time, our members, they kind of lose a little bit of touch with why they joined, what their reasons were, and what they're really truly fighting for, which is a better way of life. And we got to reconnect to those values a little bit. But thank you all for participating in that. And as we go, I want you to really think about that, because I think that has to ground us in our work. Why did we join the union in the first place? And why did our members that we want to try to organize and get back on our side join in the first place? Because we make it complicated sometimes. Now look, I think we can all agree, right? And we've been saying this, and a lot of what we put together for our general convention touched on this stuff well before an election and well before anything else, which is we have apathy in our ranks. Look at that picture. That's a picture actually on Facebook right now from one of our local unions that posted about their union meeting. Look how empty the hall is. You know, maybe 5 to 10 people at a union meeting. And I know we can all agree, because I've talked to just about everybody in this room that has raised the concern of, like, our members are not as engaged and not as involved. And I've heard it time and time again over the course of my 20-some years working for the International. It's like, man, we've lost that sense of solidarity, that brotherhood, that unity. You know, it's gone. It's not here. And look, we see it not just in showing up for union meetings, because oftentimes we say that that's got to be the barometer, but it goes beyond that. Like, there's not participation. And I said it yesterday in one of the committees, or two of them, like, we do have ways to force people to participate. I did labor walks all throughout the city of Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Michigan, you know, Ohio, and Wisconsin, and 95% of the people that went out and did labor walks on a Saturday were apprentices that were forced to be there. I want to get to a place where we have a union that has 500 people on a Saturday that want to be there. And there's a big difference between forced activism and people that actually want to get back to their union. Because when you look at it like this is the reality. We have a decrease in participation across the board, a decrease in activism. It leads to a true decrease in solidarity. I mean, our membership is not united oftentimes. Oftentimes, the employer has them more united against us in certain instances and in certain parts of the country. And people are left out there kind of fending for themselves. And we got to change that dynamic. But it also has led to what I believe is a real, true decrease in union pride. Like, there used to be that time where having that union card and associating with your union meant everything to you. You would never think, ever, to talk bad about your union, because there was such a sense of pride. Why? Because there was a sense of ownership. The members felt like they owned their union. Right now, it's far too easy for our members to just get on Facebook and trash us. It's too easy for our members to go out and say whatever they want, whether it's true or not, because that's the world we live in these days. People can say whatever the hell they want without any truth, and it's too easy for them to go on a job site because they may have a personal grievance against you or a personal grievance against the organization and start spreading that type of hate. And it's reality. And we find ourselves on the heels. And I think, we find ourselves in that moment where we go, all right, if we can all agree, which I'm pretty sure we can, then we got to do something about it. And we got to turn the tide. Now's the time to turn the tide. When you really take that look inside ourselves. But I'm pretty sure we can all agree that we have to do something. And we can't just keep doing what we've always been doing, which is trying to will our way to having membership involvement. We got to do it together as an organization. And Paul touched on it, that those resolutions that we passed, everybody's got to be working towards those goals. But the one resolution that I focused my entire effort on since the convention is that internal organizing law that we passed unanimously, which means we have to reorganize our membership. And that's going to require all of us. All of us. It doesn't matter what department or what your role is. And guess what? It's going to require more than those just in this room. And I'll show you how we plan on doing it. We put together a 4-phase plan for our organization to go forward, and one that we're going to do together. All departments, everybody that's drawing a paycheck from the union, regardless of whether you're working for a trust fund, whether you're an organizer, or whether you work in the service department or you're a political director. We're going to do it together. We're calling it our One Union, One Family, One Fight campaign. Why? Because that's the values that we've been trying to push and trying to bring back into our organization. And it's a member engagement plan that comprises of 4 phases, which I'll go through. And it's led by the International Union, but it's done together with our district councils. You know how many times over the years that I've seen the International come up with a plan, and a good one, and we go, now go do it. Or we go, get together as organizing directors or training directors, and we put out what we think is the best practice, and we turn it over to the council and go, here, now go do it, tell me how it went. I don't want to do that. We want to be doing it together with our district councils. I want to be on job sites with our business agents. I want our vice presidents, our staff to be in your union halls, working with you guys on this program, talking to our members, educating our members in the training centers, in the union halls, everywhere on the doors of our members, on the job sites together. This isn't an us and them, this is together. And we're going to roll this out in every single district council together. And we're not going to just leave it up to you guys to say, here, now tell us how it's going. Give us some reports and we'll move on. We're going to be embedded with our district councils in this program. That's how important it is to our future. And there's going to be a lot of follow-up. This isn't one thing where we go, all right, here's a campaign, go do it. It's going to be learn as we go. It's going to be take best practices, share them. There's going to be components that we're going to have to add. There's going to be communication directly with our members that's going to be needed, whether it be online communication, social media, direct on their doors, house calls. It's going to take a shape of its own, and we're going to do it together. And we're going to track it. So who's involved? Everyone. Not good with PowerPoints, by the way. I just ran through all that without doing the thing. Over the course of our leadership, both Greg, myself, Paul, and the rest of the General Executive Board have been pretty flexible when it comes to programs, all the constitutional changes we ran through the business managers. There's really nothing that we've done as an organization that we've mandated. We've never been like, you have to do this or else. We really truly believe in collaboration, and I think this campaign is going to be collaborative. However, when it comes to our member engagement, and then when it comes to rebuilding our membership from the rank and file up, this is non-negotiable. It really is. I'm not going to ask people for their support in this. So I really want to make it very clear. This is the mission of our union going forward. This isn't just a campaign. This has got to be the mission of our union, to rebuild our membership from the rank and file up, period. And it's not negotiable. However, we want to hear from you guys too on what's working, what's not working, and we're going to be there. And we're going to learn from each other. But it's not negotiable because I think, like I said, we can all agree. It's got to happen. And we're probably too late in some instances. We should have never stopped talking to our members. We should have never stopped trying to empower our members and engage our members. But we did. And we don't need to get into the reasons why. I think there's a million reasons why. And as we're in each district council, and as we're working together, we can talk about them. But I don't even really want to focus on the past when it comes to this. Because oftentimes we get too stuck in it. We got to make our own future. And not worry so much about how we ended up here. I've heard so many times people be like, well, we tried that before, it's not going to work. Or, yeah, we tried that, and this is what happened, and it's all the reason for us not to do the basics. And what we're laying out here is pretty basic. And as I run through it, I'm going to show you. There's going to be areas for our members to engage where we're going to ask people to recommit. And we're going to ask them to recommit to the union values. Think about it. How many of you, at your local union meetings, swear in your membership? Yeah. Most of you. Yeah. And that pledge, that commitment, that is in that swearing in, right? How many of us go back and read it? How many of us go back to our members and really make them commit to those values that when they became members for the first time, they raised their hand and said they were going to commit to? They're just words in the Constitution at this point. How many times people step over one another, look to get ahead of one another? Like, if you look at those values that we commit to as a union, we're not living up to them. And we gotta go back to our members and start with those basics, those core fundamental values of what it means to be a union member. So we're gonna ask our membership to sign up through a pledge. And here's our value statement. So we kind of took the basic fundamentals of what it meant to join this organization when you first sign in, and we updated it a little bit. And it's nothing crazy in here, but we need to live these values every single day. And we defined what the one union, one family, one fight values are for our members. And we gotta have simple conversations with our members. Are you willing to commit to this? And think about it. If you're not, then what type of union member are you? And does that open the door for us to have conversations and educate our members about our values again? Because it surely does. Read it. What's our mission? It's to better the lives of each and every member by being the strongest, most powerful voice in the industries we represent. Period. I think we can all agree to that. It's not to provide the most skilled, workforce in the world. No, we do that. It's not to provide the best benefits in the industry. No, we do that. It's to better the lives of each and every member by being the strongest, most powerful voice in our industry. We have to go back to our members and explain to them that that's what this organization's mission is. What are our values of one union? Our strength is forged through unity by every member within our union working together, regardless of our individual trades. Throughout North America, we stand united as one, transcending individual differences and creating collective power. That's what it means to be one union. We have to explain those values to our members. And under the full affiliation banner of being one union, under district councils, we have to explain it to all of our members, regardless of what trade you come from, about what it means to build collective power as an organization. We're one family, where we stand together as one. We support, care for, and respect each other in our union halls, on and off the job, each and every day. We leave no member behind. We have to have that conversation with our members. We have to get them to recommit to those values. That takes work. That takes organizing. One fight. We fight together for stronger contracts. That means safer job sites, industry-leading pay, democracy at work. When we win stronger collective bargaining agreements for IUPAT members, we win higher standards of living for every worker in our crafts. Notice not one word about politics, not one word about anything other than what the union's mission and values are. And I hate to say it's so simple, but we got away from this. We got away from this within our union for far too long. And if we're going to reorganize ourselves as an organization, it starts with getting a recommitment to those values. And they shouldn't be that hard. Because when you think about it, that's what you joined. When I asked you why you joined the union and what you hope to get out of it, the answer is right there. It truly is. And everything we do is rooted in our collective bargaining agreements. Everything is rooted in that collective power. And everything we have to do as an organization is to rebuild that power. We need our members on board with us. And I know it seems simple, but it's really not. Because this is the values we've lost. We've lost it in our job sites and in our union halls. We gotta get it back, and the only way to get it back is to organize. And the only thing I know, the only thing that this horrible student that joined an apprenticeship program at 18 ever learned is how to organize. And there is a way to do it. And what we're laying out is a real true strategic plan for reorganizing our members, not just saying something, actually doing it. And I'll walk through phase 1 of our campaign. And anybody who's an organizer knows, in order to run a campaign, you've got to build your base. And we have a base of members that are involved and active in our union. And phase 1 of our campaign has got to be to educate our base. And oftentimes I think we dismiss the rank and file base that is already involved in this union. You know, there's a big difference between being a staff member who's been elected or appointed versus a rank and file activist that we have in our ranks and that oftentimes we don't take full advantage of or educate enough about how their role in this organization is also to be leaders. And think about who they are. They're your local union executive boards, right? They are your delegates to your district council. They're your base. If we don't have them, what do we have? We have to educate them, we have to empower them, we have to give them the tools to be leaders. Because where are they that we're not? They're on job sites every single day. We're not. They're working side by side with other members every single day. We're not, right? We need that base to be strong and sure and secure and carrying our message. Oftentimes, what I've seen over the years is when you become the agent or when you become a staff member, you're now the expert. You don't share that power with others. And it's natural, I guess, and it's human nature to want to be the person. Guess what? You need more people. Jack Kittle once told me, and I love Jack, once told me, you know what? The organizer's job is the easiest job in the world. And I'm like, what? You're fucking nuts. He said, yeah, all you gotta do is get other people to do their job and to do more. He's like, you don't do it. He's like, you get other people to do it. I'm like, it's kind of right. But to me, it's stuck in my head. That's how you build power. You empower other people to carry your message. You don't do it personally all the time. You lead with your values. You get others to carry your message. Our base needs to be activated, folks. Our base needs to be engaged. And I look at it more than just the local union officers and the delegates to the district council. We have other areas that we can engage people. We have our stewards programs that in some places are phenomenal. DC9 probably runs the greatest stewards program in our international union. But then we have other places where our stewards haven't been trained. We have places where we haven't even appointed stewards in a long time. We have employers that haven't had stewards on their job sites or in their shops. We need to reinvigorate our stewards program. It's the one thing that we have control of as a union. And we have to educate those stewards on how to speak the union values to the membership. Because where are they that we're not every single day? They're on the job sites and they're working with the rank and file every single day. Our apprentices. You know, I've heard it talked about for over 20-some years here working for this union that we do not do enough union value-based education in our apprenticeship programs. Well, that's going to stop. And I don't care what ERC says, and I don't care what Taft-Hartley says, and I don't care what management says. In our apprenticeship classes from here on forward, we are going to train our apprentices on what it means to be union members too.